Good morning, friends. I got the crazy hairs going on. I hope you're doing well. I have my beverage of choice. I don't really drink coffee anymore. I've resigned myself to maybe a cup a day on the weekend. I'm pretty much a tea girl these days. So I thought, since I had been not around on Friday and Saturday, many of you read the page post and that I put out there, and I'm sure you can understand. I needed some family time, and I actually did some organizing in here. Excuse me while I plug those in so that way we don't lose it. I wanted to plan some projects. I wanted to hop on and let everybody know that we're doing okay. Just a pretty sad time, to be honest. So Chalk Couture just always makes me feel creative. It allows me to do things for other people. And so I had a bunch of projects that I had either prepped some services or needed to do some more work on. So I thought that I would just come on here and work on it. And if anybody was up following the time change or running late following the time change on Sunday, perhaps maybe you would join me. So I'm just getting some things together and started. One of which is my Dune paste, because I think that's going to be the perfect color. But I can see that I need to add a little water to the sky, which is totally fine. So if you're here, jump on, say hello. I'm just gonna probably work on multiple things. I'll tell you about them along the way and how I did them, and also share some things that are going on. And I'm not quite sure how long I'll be on, but hopefully maybe I can get a couple hours in. I was a good girl and did all my chores yesterday. So, like I say, I can't really see if anybody's here until the chat loads. You know what I might try and do is bring my other laptop in here. Just a little afraid because it's my work one, but so I figured I was procrastinating, so I ought to just get on here and do it. Okay, so without much further ado, I'm going to ask you to see what's at the bottom of the page. And I think what I'm going to do is, for all of my videos that I do, my lives, if you can SHARE it, I get to see that, and then I'll put your name in a bag, and the next time I go live, I'll do a little drawing, and I'll send you something handmade from me. Okay? So it really does help me out. All right, I'm going to show you my desk. And I'm going to tell you about this. So, some time ago, actually, this is my second go-round with Chalk Couture. I started as a designer shortly after we lost my dad. I needed a diversion, and it was okay, but I just really I wasn't in the mindset or have the presence of mind to really move forward. But one of the things the ideas that I came up with at that time, partially because I'm a relatively new homeowner, I purchased this home 2 years ago, was to make something that realtors could maybe, most realtors give a gift when you close on your house. And this was one of the ideas that I had come up with. So all this is I think it's pine, very thin, very lightweight circle that I stained and then I painted. And then this is our stencil, May Our Home Overflow with Warm Memories and Laughter. And what I wanted to do is, this was actually black. And what I wanted to do was to put a little buffalo check just on the black to try and dress it up. So I thought the Dune paste color would bring that out. And I would also get to show you guys how to utilize one of these large transfers a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wax the surface, honestly, because I can't remember if I did or not. So we're going to wax the top and the bottom. I think I did this over the course of the last couple of weeks. So you want to wax, especially when you've painted and gone to all these steps. And it's really to protect your transfer, but all of these things need a top coat. They need something that's going to seal them in. And when I'm done, I may take this outside and spray it with some polyacrylic sealer. And I really wanted the opinions of the audience just because I know a lot of realtors. I believe that adage to be true. I know my realtor gifted me a doormat and some great soap for all the bathrooms in the house, which was nice when I closed. But I kind of thought maybe something to display in the home might be nicer, or on your door. And this is my first attempt at making something like that. So when you apply wax, you just kind of want to put it on there. You want to let it sit, and then you want to buff it off. So that's more than enough. While we're waiting for that to sit a little bit, what I'm going to do is prepare this transfer, and then we'll buff it and we'll get it laid down. Okay, these guys, I think they're 18 by 18. This is called Mini Buffalo Plaid. I do have one that I've cut apart for smaller projects. That works okay, but sometimes you just want the continuity of, pardon me releasing the seal here. Sometimes, you need this full area, and this circle, it's pretty big. So what I'm going to do is try and work off the transfer. So I'm just peeling up the corner, and we're going to leave the backer there. And I'm going to pull it across. And I have a brand spanking new fuzzing towel. See how nice it is? And I'm going to take that terry cloth side and just put a little fuzz on it. And that allows me to kind of put my finger at the corner of this big guy, and actually this is a little bit easier for me. Oh, that's microfiber. What about the other side? Hit it again. Pull up. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is look for the big fuzzies that might give us a hard time. And I'm just going to tuck that down. And then I'm going to do the other side. Excuse me. Again, whenever you're working with this stuff, you just don't want it to, you don't want to pull from a corner because you'll distort it. And if that happens, and it's really severe and it sticks to itself, the only way to get it unstuck is to run it underwater. Otherwise, you will distort it and stretch it. There's just no doubt. So being careful not to pull it back on itself. On the sticky side anyway. And I'm going to do it again. And that should be sufficient. And I'm just going to kind of lay it back down. Turn it so it's right side up. Bring over our surface. That's had enough time to cure. Kind of buff in that wax. So my intention is just to do this top and bottom section in the check, which I think will look cool. And then I can add a bow and like that. So I'm going to have to pull this over till it's almost off the thing, the transfer backer. And I'm going to have to be pretty careful while I do it. Let's see. Yep. All right. Come on. Okay. Working off the backer, if you will, does help you to line things up. Now, I'm looking at that top line of paint, and I'm trying to get it lined up straight on that edge, on that check edge. I'll show you where I'm looking in just a second. You see that line? Okay, I did have a little bit of a bleed because what I had done was I had, like I say, I stained this, and then I had some painter's tape, and when I pulled it, I got a tiny little bit of a bleed that I wasn't able to really fix. Now, I do see some fuzz here in the actual transfer, which we're not going to want. So I'm going to grab my little detail tool here and see if I can't remove it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But this is meant to look rustic, so that doesn't really bother me too much. Excuse me. So we might have a couple of bubbles. So you want to smooth it over. And something I want to use or begin to start using is our 4-inch squeegee. I'm not the best about using it. And as I understand it, it can help you kind of whip through an area nice and straight. So I'm going to attempt it. And I'm going to turn this backwards and forwards a few times. This paste is still a little bit on the chunky side. Excuse me. I'm going to put a little bit more water. Distilled water is what you need to use. And that's coming back pretty well. So distilled water and stir, stir, stir. Yeah, it seems a little bit better. And since I've got this, I'm not sure which way would be better, but I'll get some on there. I wasn't sure if I was going to do the buffalo check or if I was going to do the farmhouse tile, but I have another project that I'd like to finish today, utilizing the farmhouse tile. All right, so we don't want to go past see why people like using this, because you can really line up an area very easily. I like that. I think we're going to need a little bit more paste. And it makes it go a lot quicker. Excuse me. Now what will happen with the transfer is once I'm done putting this on here, I will take it to my sink and wash it with water and a board eraser. And then it's reusable many, many times. Okay, that's pretty good. I am going to peel this up on the bottom side because we don't want to risk it sticking. Let's see if there's anywhere else I need to cover up. Tiniest bit there. Okay. So this is called paste and peel. And the reason you do that and the reason you wax is you don't want your design, you don't want the transfer to lift the design, which it's going to do in some cases, like that one. And if you're slow about it, you can see where it didn't quite go through and fix it if you like. I think it's pretty good though. I want to get it off of that portion. Alright, so we're just going to kind of lay it down and then I'm going to turn it around so it's a little bit easier for me to work on. And going right up to that line. This piece has been out for a little bit, so we of course want to give it the benefit of being able to air dry. You don't want the paste to dry in your screen. That's the main thing. That was the section I was worried about, where I had gone over with my paint. Just the tiniest bit. Okay. Now you can see, if you look really close, I've got some stuck in the screen. That's okay. It's going to be rustic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to peel this up. And if I see anything that I really dislike, which I don't really, I'm going to put it back down. And what we're going to do is, to try and keep this on the backer, is we're going to flip that. I'm going to remove the project real quick. This is so much easier to handle on the backer. So that'll go over to the wash. And then we're going to bring this back. And I have to say, I really like that. That really kind of gave it a little bit more flair, if you will. So if you're a realtor and you watch me, I do take custom orders, but I think this is going to be a really nice, you know, present, affordably priced, that you could give to your new homeowner. So, do other colors. This is just what I happen to do initially. And I do have other designs as well, if the buffalo check is not your jam. Now I'm going to show you something over here. See here where I kind of went over a little bit? I don't know if you can see it, but it's much easier to kind of get that straightened out if it's dry. So I'm going to dry that, and then I'm going to attempt to scrape that off. And so I'm going to put a bow, give it a little door hanger. But this is one that I had been working on for a little while. And I actually, I'm considering, and I'm in the process of getting all my paperwork together, doing a farmer's market in my area. I mean, literally around the corner, starting in May. So I have to make a bunch of stuff. So this was something that I thought I could make different versions of, and maybe people would enjoy. Somehow I always put my finger in it. And it didn't go through. Some of that buffalo check is meant to look a little distressed, but this is the effect that you get when you're working on wood for the most part. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to let it dry fully. And then we'll come back and dress it up. I'll have a little bit of my coffee. And I'm going to bring this huge surface over here that I've been working on for a while. So this, I don't even know. I think it's a 24-inch tabletop. It's pretty thick. I got it at Home Depot. And I stained it with Waverly Antique Stain. And I put this over here to ship out. And quite honestly, I'm going to turn it into a tray. I have 2 handles for it. And so the stain's been curing since Friday, so I think we're good. And I've been itching to use the farmhouse tile. And that first piece I showed you with the black, I mean, if this is 16 inches, so there you go. It's the difference in the size. It's pretty large. I'm looking for my painter's tape right this second. Just had it. Oh, I think it's in it over here. So I had originally thought to paint the ends black and to put, you know, maybe that saying. That might be nice. And then have the farmhouse tile at the top and the bottom. So here's the tape. All right. And of course I don't have my ruler. I wanted to measure in so I get this dead center. But I'm going to kind of use this as a guide. See how much room I need. Thanks, Lila. Took a cue from you. How is the excellent adventure going? I didn't realize that you had left already. So we want to get a good seal with that tape. And knock back any. Does that look about even? Looks like there's more on the top than there is on the bottom, but let's see. Yeah, there is. All right, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I want to get it as close as I can. know if some of you know, I collect Toll trays, Toll painted trays. And I don't know why I didn't think to do a tray. Toll painting was popular in the 60s. I have them all throughout my house as artwork. And I guess that's going to give us enough room. Yeah, that would fit if I wanted to do that. Okay, great. And that feels like it's drying already. Alright, so all I have is some Art Minds, black, acrylic paint. I don't know, some would say I might ruin it, but I don't know. I don't think so. I'm gonna get one of these color trays. But what I think is that I'm gonna have to turn the transfer to capture, because it's too long. But that's okay. We can do that. I think I shook this. Yeah, this is not the Nothing Special paint. It's Art Minds from Michaels, I think. I had it lying around since Christmas. And this is literally a 45-cent chip brush that you can get at Harbor Freight. I like the chip brushes just because they kind of give me the effect that I'm looking for, which tends to be a little bit more of a rustic look to things. And before I go crazy, I'm just going to make sure that that is down. And we're just going to put a coat on. And that tape better hold. And I'm going to allow it to dry, and then I'm going to wax it. And I'm going to figure out which transfer I want on it. And I have some other boards to paint. I got to get moving on some welcome signs. So that might be part of today's agenda, if the weather's good. I just went down and made coffee, and then I had some work to do. So I'm going to kind of try and get the side here too. Apologize that you can't see me. This is heavy. It wasn't much money. I used the Americana stain, which I like because it's odorless and it's water-based, and I do like the effect. Gives you that deep color that you're looking for. And then the handles, I was thinking I might turn this into a tabletop, but I did buy handles for it at Walmart, so we'll see. I'm thinking it's going to go on our back patio. There's a little side table. It's time that we get some new furniture out there. And I did stain the top and the back and the front. And like I said, I did let it set 24 hours. Oh, my farmer's market's not till May. So I'm trying to think of some things that I can make on a small scale. I do have a couple projects that I want to finish today for some friends of mine, and one for myself. I'm never sure when you're supposed to peel a tape. I guess it's just like when you peel a transfer. You gotta do it when it's wet. And somehow I remember peeling the tape like when you're painting at home after it's dried. Just trying to get this edge here. I was hoping I could get it with just what I've got on the brush here, because I didn't want to pour any more out. This is big. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I didn't make too much of a mess. Amazing. So I am going to dry it just a little bit. Trying to get it dry enough by that tape. Don't you do it. So I can pull it. And then I am going to put it to the side and let it dry fully. Then I'm going to wax it and apply the farmhouse tile to it on the ends. And by that time, I probably will have an idea of what I want to put down the center and what it will become. I think it will look awesome as a tray, but I think it would also look cool as a table, so we'll have to figure it out. And then if it's going to go outside, we would seal it. spot I missed. I don't know what it is, but when you paint black over this antique stain, it takes on like a brownish chocolate color I really like. So I'm sure you guys are thrilled to watch paint dry, but that's really what we got to do right now. I think that's close enough to pull the tape to see what kind of an edge we got and see if there's anything that I need to clean up. And that's really why I was drying it. Alright, so here we go. We'll do the bottom first. That's quite nice. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a pretty clean edge. And I just tucked it around to the back. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. I think we got enough of the grain showing. I like it. Okay. But it is nowhere near dry. And that's totally fine, because we can finish this guy off. And we're just going to switch these two surfaces. That is huge. Now that I see it. So this guy is now dry. And I do believe I'm just trying to get when I gotta clean up stuff in the right spot so I don't track it all over. Yeah, that's dry. Alright, so probably what I'm going to do is just take a little sanding broth around the edge. Just to knock it back a little bit. I don't know that made a difference, but at least I know I did it. I definitely am going to have to... Oh, here's the handles I bought for the big tray. They're utility poles. They're like $2.87. You can get them at Walmart. They happen to be black. So we're definitely going to need a way to hang this up. So I have my crocodile here. And I'm going to say probably right about there. And all I do is get an eyeball and I put this in. And I just go for it like right in the center. Okay. And definitely some burlap ribbon. I think that'll tie it together nicely. Here it is. Yep. Okay, so definitely we want to get a little twine down. And that could be a couple things. That could be the hanger. about you guys, but I like to do my hangers this way. Just tie a knot, pull it down, take the edge, go right through the hole that you made, and then loop this through. I don't know, seems a little more secure to me, but you know I'm crazy, so. Alright, I think that is like a perfect match. I totally wish that I had like black and cream, but I don't, as far as I know. I have black and white. I do have some plain black. But see, it takes on like a black brown look to me. And there's no white in it, so I don't have any black. Oh, what a fibber I am. I have some black burlap ribbon. So I think I'm going to make it of those two. I've seen lots of ways to do this. But I think it needs like, you know, maybe the messy kind of look. So I'm just gonna like eyeball it, how big I want it. And I'm just gonna cut some pieces. I'm pretty sure this black burlap might have come from Dollar Tree. Because it's only 9 feet. Okay. So then what I've seen people do is kind of like that. And then I'm just going to stack it up, alternating. I've also seen them use zip ties, which I know I have a bunch of. Can't find them. Save my life. Story of my life. So we're just going to go the twine route. But you know, with this wired ribbon, it just doesn't get it tight enough. So if you're going to excuse me, I'm not sure if anybody's here. I'm going to go grab a zip tie because I think they're in the other room. Right back. Okay, as I suspected, they were. Been meaning to bring them over for a while. And they're black, which is convenient. Okay, let's try this again. Kind of want to like pinch it in the center. And then I'm going to feed it through. I'll put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Feed it through. Let's get it going the right way. Gonna start it. Kind of ruffle it. Hold it together. And pull, pull, pull. Oh, I like that so much better. It's just like tight. And I'm going to cut off the excess. And then I'm going to fluff, fluff, fluff. And with the wired whip and stuff, you do get to kind of move it around a little more. I think that's really pretty. I gotta trim up that one. Okay, and then what you can do is you can make these neater. And then sometimes I like them angled, sometimes I like them dovetailed. I think we're going angled this time. And then what you can do is, if you want to, just to kind of, you know what I might do? I might take a piece of that black, because that would be a little more contrast. Yep. I like that. And I just tie it around the front. Also, you're just covering up the zip tie, but it gives you something to help glue this to your project with. And that's all you need. Oh yeah, kind of dresses it right up. And so I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to fluff, fluff, fluff. And then we're just going to glue it. And I think that'll look really cute. Oh, I kind of went the opposite way with the fanning. It's all right. I'll fix it real quick. Yeah. Make sure that's in the back. If I can get another knot, maybe I can. That would be good. Might be a little thick of a chunky bow, but that's okay. I like it. And you can always trim it up a bit if need be. And then I'm just going to kind of glue it there. Here it comes. So far, I'm really liking this glue gun. All right, and I'm just going to put it right underneath that hole, and I'm just going to hold it there for a few minutes. and have a sip of my coffee. And this guy, oh, I see, I missed a little spot on the side. It's okay. That's why you want it to kind of dry as much as you can. Okay, that feels like it's on there. Okay, you can sit here and mess with bows all you want, but I mean, you kind of get the gist. It does look a little bit more layered. I'll hold it up so you can see. So that is one done, I think. And I really like how that came out, so I might make some others. So my realtor friends, if you like this, I can do many more, and they're very affordable. So, and what I might do is string some little farmhouse beads on the top, on that cord, because I think that'll dress it up, and they'll be close in color. Okay. All right. So that's one project done that I wanted to do. I'm going to take a 5-minute interlude and go wash that transfer, and then I am going to work on something else. So you can look at my desk while I do that with the one we've completed. The other one is still drying, but I don't want to ruin that mini buffalo, so I want to get that washed up as quick as I can. So 5 minutes, go refill your coffee, and then I'm going to do another project. I hope we get a chance to finish the tabletop. And I think we might, because it's feeling pretty dry. So let me get this washed up, and I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for waiting. Good morning, Noreen. Just a little PSA for those large transfers. I didn't notice it until I washed it, but some of this dark paste did come up on the back side of that buffalo plaid. So it's something that you've got to be careful about. And I almost forgot that I wanted to try and clean this up. And so you can see, once it's dry, it scratches off very easily. And you know, it might not be necessary for some people, but I do, since I got such the clean edge on this, and I was surprised by that. And this is something that I want to sell. I want to try and get this as, you know, as good as I can. But I'm glad I went and, I'm very glad that I went over and washed that. So that's definitely the thing to do. And then you can just take your little detail tool and just go back and clean it up ever so slightly. And then that's our project for this one. I think I'm going to do the, I think this is dry enough, and I've been dealing with larger surfaces, so I'm going to try and put the tile on. Make sure the other side is dry. Yeah, I think it is. All right. So we're going to put this up behind us where everything goes. I have to redo this today too. But I like that. I like that a lot. All right, here is this big transfer. Big surface. So this is 24 inches across. Feels pretty dry. I'm gonna wax the entire top because I'm gonna have to angle the transfer to get both ends. Somehow I thought this was the same size or a little bit less. It is not. I'm just going to wax. One thing I like about this, when you're putting it on black, you can see where you've put it. And then you just kind of buff it off. And when you're using some of these bigger transfers, and you know, I'm going to put something down the middle. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet. I kind of like that May Our Home Be Filled with Memories and Laughter. Because regardless if I turn this into a tray with the handles, or if we make it a table, which it's certainly big enough for, I think it's going to go outside. mercy. This is a big area. And after you've put all this work into it, I, for one, want to make sure that's just wax. That'll be fine. That I don't mess it up now. So if you share, I'm going to start, or if you sprinkle, I'm going to go back and start doing a drawing. Just pull a random name out of a hat, and I'm going to send you a little something from me. I'm just keeping going until it feels like smooth. All right, we're gonna let that cure up a minute. We're gonna have a sip of our coffee. Yeah. So here's the intention. This is the farmhouse tile. And as you can see, it's not going to cover the entire black area at the top. But if I do this, it will. So what I'm trying to decide is, I could probably start at the halfway point. So it's going to have a little bit of a different look to it, but that's going to be okay. And I think I'm going to do it in white. I want to shift this. Try and get it as close as I possibly can. It'll be easier when I go to put it on there. And I'm trying to decide. So I'm going to do the top on black and the bottom. And then I have the hello that I've seen this done with. Not quite sure where it is. Oh, it must be hanging up. But I do like the one I just used. May our home overflow with warm memories and laughter. I think that might be better. It might be better. So I gotta go get them. And I want to give this a little time to set up. And I want to get the white paste. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Close this. And let me go get those couple. Then we can see what we want to do. gang. Sorry, I apologize. I was busy fighting with my storage. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Buff it a little bit. Okay. Alright. Big transfer. Gotta fuzz it. Because we don't want to pull up all that wax and all that work we did. I really think that I like that. I like that Bless This House and May Our Home Be Overflow with Memories and Laughter. I love that. So you see what I'm talking about? I'm going to have to scoot it way up there, which is totally fine. But I love this tile, so I'm going to do the half fuzz trick. And I'm going to try and get it off the, actually, get it off the backer. Especially when you're working with wood, I think it's important to do all the steps. I mean, I stain this one day, let it dry for 24 hours. Don't you dare do it. And then I painted it this morning. Now I've waxed it. I mean, some of our projects are super quick, but when you decide that you want to, you know, branch out, go big, as they say, yeah, it takes a little preparation, but I don't mind that. I think I stained it. Might have been last weekend. And then I have a project I want to make for a friend and one for myself. So this is finished projects, and then that I had in mind. So I'm just going to pull it off just like that, as we've got enough room. We got the backer. So I want to see how far down I can come. And I'm hoping, yeah. So if I don't know if you can see it, but basically I've split. I'm going to split that chevron right at its point. And I'm going to use that as my mark, if you will. And I'm going to do the same process. I go this way. I want to see definition of where it ends. So just because we've done so much work, I'm going to take a piece of placement tape and I'm going to run it straight through a little hard to see. It's fine. All right, let's pick this up. it would appear we've done our job with the prep. I mean, there's no holes or bumps in it, but it's not sticking, which is what we want. All right, so now I've got some of our new formula. They call it the Creamy Dreamy Bright White. And I'm just going to get some on there. I don't know how much I'm going to need. Probably more in that area. Okay. And I've got this 4-inch handled squeegee. And I think, yeah, it's going to be best to kind of go to the line and back. But because I put the placement tape there, that really helps. I'm a messy and impatient. Oh, see? Went over the tape. Gonna have to clean that up. So hopefully we've waxed enough that I can do that. I did go over a little bit. It's okay. I'm a firm believer that there's very few things that I can't fix when it comes to this. And this is paste, so it will come off with water. Maybe not on a wood surface. Okay. Pretty good. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to lift it. And you can see where my boo-boo is, but I like that a lot. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it to unstick on itself. See what a mess? Come on. Some of these are difficult to work with, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go the other way. And I want to try and line that up once again. Pull this tape off temporarily. I'm going to try and do the same thing. Just going to line up. I can see the black. Yeah, I'm going to come over. And come down a little bit. Yeah. This is the fiddliest part of the whole project, is getting this on here the way you want. And I would recommend that you wash it in between and let it dry, because it's a little bit easier to manipulate that way. Where is it? Okay, let's see. Where is it? There it is. All right, I think that's about as close as I can come. I'm going to stick that piece of tape that I had right up against that white that we just used. I don't mind that flopping backward. And I'm sorry I'm doing half of this off the camera. Let me see if I can turn it around so you can see. I need a bigger table. Or a place to put my technology. It feels like it has a bubble in it. How about way down? Clean one of these. That'll help me get the bubbles out. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about that stuff. I'm gonna try and get that off. All right, here we go. Bubbling a little over there. This side is a little more difficult to get at than the other. Not quite sure why. But we can clean up any misses in the screen, after the fact. So honestly, just trying to get this on here. Okay. I'll lift it up. Ooh. That's a lot of bleed. All right, I'm going to put it back down. And I'm going to see if I can't get it to go through the screen a little bit better. Because I see it sticking up, and this is the clean side. It's a little bit odd. I know it hasn't dried in there. But like over here, this still might have been a job for paste and peel. I mean, I like my stuff to look distressed, but that's a little bit too much. It's not as crisp. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to clean up the areas that I don't like, and I'm going to lay the transfer back down. So first things first, let's get this area cleaned up. And I don't know, I might rough up the other side a little bit. So all I've got is a Lysol wipe here to take off this excess piece. Where we didn't want it, and even though we were so careful, yeah, there's a lot I don't like about this side, so I would probably like to line it up again and give it another shot. I am going to try and fix this bleed the best I can. And I know it's hard to see. And I think overall I really like it, but you know, maybe I'm being a little over picky, but with these types of bleeds, I like to dip the detail tool in the Lysol. Just, you know, by the wipe, because this is very detailed in here. But you can get it up as long as you have waxed it. So what I think I may do is let it dry and then come back and scratch it off. So wow, how big this is. It's like, doesn't even fit in the shot. So this is what I'm talking about fixing. I'm sure if you zoom in on your camera, you can see it. This type of stuff, it doesn't bother me. Matter of fact, I might sand some of that off. But not getting up to the line, that bothers me. And I thought I was being so careful, so I definitely am going to wash that transfer. And the reason I was able to get this missteps up is because we waxed the board. So yeah, so I think I'm going to do that again just to be on the safe side. You know, with a few fixes, I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna really enjoy using it outside, to be honest. So I'm just gonna put a thin layer. I mean, you could make this into a Lazy Susan for your picnic table. You could do a million things with it. It is big, though. That's why I'm suggesting, you know, maybe for your picnic table, your outside table. Depending on how I get this to come out, I might make a matching one. I'm trying to redo our outside seating. I'd like to get, I'd like to power wash, first of all. I'd like to get the leaves removed, second of all. And then I'd like to get some new furniture for out there. I haven't found the perfect deal just yet. Okay. So I think Mayor Home. I like it. I think it'll look good. And then I'll watch the farmhouse and relay it over. Yeah. I think that'll look really nice. I've used this once, but I'm still probably going to fuzz it just to be on the safe side. Even though we've waxed. I just noticed, like, the more time you put into a project, the more cautious you are. At least that's how I react to it. Alright. So I kind of like that. I want to make sure it's like dead center. We've got, yep. Alright. Last time I did it in black. This time I'm going to do it in white. Alright. Yep. Put a generous amount. Let's see how far we can get. Might need a little some up there though. Okay. Yeah, we don't want any lines. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. see one little bleed. I mean, it bled a little on the H. I cannot tell a lie. But again, we can fix it. Okay guys, I'm going to put this aside to dry because I need to make sure this is completely dry, everything's completely dry, and then I'm going to go back with my detail tool, clean up some of this stuff. I want to make sure it's completely dry. I'm going to wash my transfer, see if I can't line it up a little bit better, maybe hit it again. But you kind of get the gist of the entire project. Let's see if I can. I apologize that's turned somehow. So I'm gonna have to show you from the side. So the top and the bottom, farmhouse tile. This was stained with Waverly Antique. That's the color of the stain. This is painted with Art Minds black acrylic paint. And this is bright white chalk paste. We do have some things I'm not thrilled with, like over here I got to clean up. So we're gonna put this on the side and we're gonna allow it to dry and we're gonna clean our tools. So, I have a little plant stand right here. I know you guys can't see it. So last and finally, there is a project that I want to do. And I might be crafting all day, but this is something I want to make for a friend of mine. This is the Grayson style 9x12 chalkboard. You can get it in my shop. I believe it is in stock. It's a 9x12. It takes our 8.5x11s pretty easily. And now all I need to do is find the transfer. So if you bear with me. Here it is. So I think I'm going to do one of these for myself, for actually to be in this room, but a friend of mine lost her father recently, and I actually had the pleasure of speaking to her last night. So when someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. I just thought that was beautiful script and a good thing to recall. And you know, grieving is different for everybody, and this gal is a young lady, and a new mom, and you know, she's got a lot going on. So I just thought sending her a little something would be, you know, a nice thing to do. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to put it, you know, white. I am going to fuzz it. I mean, this is a chalk couture surface. Oftentimes you don't have to fuzz on those, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I am saving the box. And then I would like to make her something. She has a 1-year-old daughter, so I'd like to just try to get this balanced on either side, top and bottom. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so as per normal, we're just gonna make sure our silkscreen area is stuck down. And then this is gonna go pretty quick. I think this is part of my problem, is I'm not being generous enough. Now that's way too much, but that's okay, because this is where it goes. Right back in the jar. Okay. And this is my favorite part. This is sticking a little bit harder than I would have liked. So that's going to go right back on its backer sheet. And I'm going to think about what else I want to put on this. I have some little fonts and things. Yeah, I just see one little wobble that I want to clean up. And I'm trying to leave an area for a picture. You know, I have a couple of wallet-sized pictures that I'm going to put on mine. And I'm going to hang it up right in this room. That is the transfer backer. I don't know why they keep doing that. Okay guys, that is enough for an intermission. I'm going to end this live and potentially start another one. I do need to take a break to wash some of these transfers and allow them to dry, and then I'm going to definitely on the tabletop I'm going to do some more work. This one's got a little bit of cleanup that I need to do. Right on memory. It's not too bad. So I'm just going to allow some things to dry, and if you're around and you want to craft, I'll probably be around. So thanks very much. Let me say goodbye. Thanks everyone for watching, and enjoy your Sunday. See you soon.